Hello, my name is Fenna. Welcome to Following Fenna. I am a certified coach and counselor, and I work with people in a limerent episode and also with their partner. Now, if your partner is obsessively in love with someone else / in limerence, it can be devastating. Like they've chosen someone else over you. Like something about you wasn't good enough. Maybe they even tell you that. Maybe they're even saying to you that they haven't been happy for a really long time. But here is the truth. And also the most important thing to hear. Their limerence is not about you. It's about their brain, their emotional patterns, and often their unhealed attachment wounds. It's about them. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why. So, what is limerence anyway? Why is my partner acting all weird all of a sudden? Well, limerence is a super powerful, obsessive emotional state caused by addiction. It's not just simply falling in love. This is something completely different. This is not rational. And neurobiologically, limerence is linked to reward pathways in the brain, especially dopamine and norepinephrine. These chemicals create this rush of anticipation and cravings and a whole lot of focus on a specific person. And we call that the limerent object, meaning the other person. And when these systems are activated, it can override logic. It can override existing relationships, family, even the person's own values. And neuroscientist Helen Fisher found similar brain activation patterns in people who were experiencing limerence as in those with drug addictions. The reward and the craving circuits are exactly the same. Limerence is not a decision. It's a brain state. Let me repeat that. Limerence is not a decision, it's a brain state. Now, if your partner is in limerence, completely focused on someone else, and maybe they treat you like someone who happens to live in the same house still, it's completely natural to think, okay, why did my partner fall in love with somebody else? What did I do wrong? Where did things go wrong and what was my part in that? Or why am I not good enough? Because what you see, of course, is their attention shifting and their emotional energy is completely focused on someone else. And sometimes you see a version of your partner that you don't even recognize. And they might even tell you it's you. They might rewrite history. They might start to blame you for things that happened recently or now, or even things that happened a long time ago. And this is called crystallization, by the way, the demonizing of you and your relationship. So, of course, your self-esteem takes a hit and you compare the shiny new object of their infatuation to you. But what is happening inside them has very little to do with your worth, your love, or your value. Because limerence is rooted in an internal emotional state like longing, unmet attention, wounds, needs, trauma patterns, or psychological reward loops. It's not a realistic evaluation of the new person. It's a projection. Limerence tends to arise when something inside the limerent person is activated, not something outside. And this can include unresolved attachment wounds, a history of emotional neglect and trauma, a sensitive nervous system that amplifies and spikes dopamine sensitivity, a stressful life period, midlife transition, maybe they lost something or there is emotional vulnerability. And the limerent object becomes a symbol, not a solution. They represent an escape, a fantasy, or a way to soothe deep emotional hunger. And because this is happening internally, it's not a reflection of you or your value or even your relationship. The vulnerability for limerence/addiction was created a long time ago in their childhood, way before they even met you. Limerence often coincides with identity crisis, with stress or transitional phases, not so much with relationship failure. And of course your pain is real, and of course you feel rejected or betrayed in the situation, and your feelings are valid. But their limerence is a mirror of their inner world and not your worth or inadequacy. You can be loving and steady and supportive and still watch your partner make radical decisions or flat out delusional decisions. And that is also because their empathy and long-term rational thinking part of the brain is toned down. Limerence is called an altered state for a reason. This is not how they normally think, feel, and act. So please know that this was never your fault. And so many partners subconsciously try to compete with the other, which is understandable. But limerence isn't a competition because the limerent object is a projection and not a real rival. And to be honest, most LOs are not better people. They're not better providers. Quite the opposite, because LOs in general are people with unhealed attachment wounds and the tendency for addictions. They're not better than you. Like I said, they're not better providers. They just became the source of your partner's dopamine. Like a bottle of vodka, actually. Like a bottle of vodka is for an alcoholic. And this just happens to be a person. But the root causes for addiction is in a childhood. So you don't need to compete with a bottle of vodka. This is not a logical, rational choice of your partner. And like I said, the other is not better than you. It's the opposite, actually. And you're not the reason of your partner's unhealed wounds. So what can you do when your partner is in limerence? Well, I know it's hard, but try to separate their state from your self-worth. This is about their brain, not your value. And if it helps to compare this with alcoholism, please do. And set clear boundaries. You have the right to feel emotional safety. You don't have to sit around and wait while your partner lives it up with their limerent object. You're there too. Please avoid to try to fix them, because limerence isn't fixed by you or proving your worth. This is healing within. This has to come from healing within, and it has to come from them. It's their healing process about their childhood and need and copings. So you have to kind of focus on your well-being and your stability. It's also important. Seek support if you need to, because this is really, really heavy and you don't have to carry this alone. You're also allowed to take up space in this story. You're there too. And please have a lot of compassion with yourself. Well, you're probably not going to get a lot of compassion from your partner, but you're in bad luck. You didn't see this coming. And believe me, I've heard devastating stories of people who just had a baby and the mother moved away one day to be with another family, leaving the original family puzzled. I've heard loving fathers with 3 kids who all of a sudden moved to another country for a co-worker that they've met 4 weeks ago. So please know that you're not alone. If your partner is in limerence, you're in bad luck, but know that you're not alone. And I know how painful and confusing this can be, but it's not a verdict of your self-worth. It's a hormonal, emotional attachment storm that started within them. You still matter and your feelings matter. And whether you stay or go, you also deserve to feel safe and valued and whole. If you need more support, I've made more videos that explain limerence from both sides. The one living it and the one standing beside it and watching and questioning what is happening. And if you want my help with limerence, my email address is in the description below. And for now, I want to thank you for watching my video, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.